Hello and welcome to today's See and Know. It's great that you're joining us and I hope you've had a fantastically wonderful, brilliant weekend and that you are ready for today's story, Church Assemble. But of course, before we find out about that, we need to know who's here this morning. So we'll sing our usual welcome song and I'll leave a nice gap for you or maybe a mum or dad or possibly brothers and sisters or even grandparents to say your name for you. Okay, are you ready? Let's sing. Where is, did you come to see and know? Ah, there you are. Hello and welcome to See and Know. It's great that you're joining us for today's story. But, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm so tired. Sorry, Flo? What's that? Why am I tired? Well, it's because I've had to tidy up the whole house. I've had to tidy all the toys away. I had to do the washing up. I had to make sure everything's all tidied up. So I'm so exhausted. You know what? You're going to help me next time. Well, that would be brilliant. I would love some help. Thank you. That would be really kind of you. Oh dear. Well, I might be a bit tired from doing all the tidying up, but shall we find out what happens in today's story, Church Assemble? So as normal, we'll practice our actions, then we'll tell the story through once, and then we'll tell it through a second time to remind ourselves what's happened. Okay, so here's today's actions. The first one is a big smile. As big a smile as you can do. And then we're going to wrap our arms around ourselves like a big hug. And then we're going to be running on the spot. And then we're going to be jumping on the spot. And then you're going to be hopping on the spot because it's really hard to hop when I'm sat down. Okay, can you give hopping on a spot a go? And then we're going to pretend to be singing into a microphone. Yeah! Yeah! I'm sure you can do a better job of pretending to sing into a microphone than that. Okay, are you ready for today's story, Church Assemble? It says in the Bible that we should all be kind and gentle to one another. Big smile. God's love will bind us together, like being wrapped up in a big hug. We are all good at something. Some of us are good at running on the spot. Let's get running on the spot. Some are good at jumping. Jump, jump. Some are good at hopping. That's your turn at home. Whilst others are good at singing. Yeah! Yeah! And we can be a great team when we all work together. And that's Church Assemble. Shall we tell it again to remind ourselves what's happened? It says in the Bible, that's God's special book, that we should all be kind and gentle to one another. Big smiles! Because God's love will bind us together like being wrapped up in a big hug. Ugh. And we're all good at something. Some of us are good at running on the spot. And some of us are good at jumping. Some of us are good at hopping. That's your turn at home. Whilst others are good at singing. Yeah, ooh, yeah, ooh, yeah! We can be a great team, God says, when we all work together. And that's the end of the story of Church Assemble. And it's called Church Assemble because God calls all of his people, all of those who love him and have a relationship with him, the church. It's not just the building we go to, it's actually the people. And we're like building blocks, all put together to make a really good structure. And when we work together, we're so much stronger. Just like if you help mum or dad at home or they help you with something, we can be much better at whatever it is we're doing. And we can do it a lot faster as well often too. So we get to work together as a team, and that's what God has asked us to do. Okay, now we're going to sing a song called God's Love is So Big. My God is So Big. I always get the title wrong. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty. Okay, see if you can remember the actions from before. We'll sing it through a couple of times. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. The mountains are his, the rivers are his, The stars are his handiwork too. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. Here we go, we'll sing it through a second time. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. The mountains are his, the rivers are his, the stars are his handiwork too. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. And when we work together as a team, there's not much that we can't do either, and we can be big and strong all together. Now, we've got some suggestions of crafts this week coming up on the screen, all to do with building blocks and things like that. So if you've got building things at home, you might want to do some building blocks and shaving foam building. It kind of acts like cement, so you can make wonderful towers with your wooden building blocks. You could do some building block printing, and you can be, this one's a bit of a boring colours. I think you can be much more bright and beautiful than that, but you might like those colours as well. So you could do some block printing. You could do some homemade clay. There's a recipe coming up, so later on it'll be at the end of the video as well. Yeah, mum or dad can pause it and you can make some homemade clay, and you can make your own little bricks if you wanted to, or make a building out of some clay. And then if you've got Duplo or Lego or wooden blocks, you might just want to build a really amazing structure. Maybe you want to build a church, or maybe you want to imagine that all of the different blocks are different people that you know, and that you get to work together as a team. But there's lots of ideas there for you to try and speak. And of course, as usual, we'd love to see some of the things and creations that you've come up with in the pictures in the comments. So please do show us. Now, we're going to finish with our prayer. So we need our wiggly fingers. Have you got them ready? We're going to wiggle our fingers up to the ceiling. We're going to wiggle our fingers down to the ground. We're going to wiggle our fingers up to the ceiling. Wiggle our fingers down to the ground. We open and shut them. Open and shut them. With a little clap. Open and shut them. Open and shut them. Put them on your lap. We put one little hand over one little eye. The other little hand over the other little eye. Bow our little heads and say a little prayer. Talk to God. Dear God, we thank you that you've given us all different talents and skills that we can be good at. And we thank you that you have brought us all together to work as one amazing team. And when we do, we can see incredible things happen. Help us not to be jealous of other people, but remember that you love us very much. Help us to work well together. Amen. Fantastic. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's story and song and our session. And of course, we've got our sing-along on Friday and our one service on Sunday. And if not, we'll see you next Tuesday at CNO. Bye for now.